Welcome to NEXTGames Odyssey series. Now today, we will be taking on our first Atonement 3NM on the Vengeance 5 difficulty, Xevioso. Now he is one of the easier Atonement 3NMs to take on, but he also can pose several challenges that you need to be mindful of. This also is the first A3NM that Xevioso and I are taking on together, so it felt good to finally get to this point. First, let's start with the spells and abilities that you will see used during this fight. He will use arrow-based magic such as Silenska, Aeroga 5, and Aeroga 5. In addition to that, he is a thief, so make sure you have over 1300 accuracy as his evasion is rather high, and note that he will use perfect dodge at 50% on this vengeance difficulty. Use that time during his perfect dodge window to get back up any buffs that may have worn if you need to. Now in regards to abilities, let's start with the worst one, Incisive Devourment, which is a single target ability that causes severe damage, which can often even one-hit tanks. Now to combat this ability, you want to use Xevioso from Bard and Migawari on Ninja. Note though, that it will also reset enmity if it doesn't kill you, so you want to be sure to have someone else in melee range who is second on the hate list, so that when it does happen to reset enmity, he doesn't run off towards one of the back line. Incisive Apotheosis is a conal ability that will again do severe damage, so you likewise want to watch out for it, and it can also apply the effect of Weakened. Due to this, and the amount of AoE damage you will take during this fight, I recommend having only 2 people in melee range, and having them on opposite sides of the boss for ideal positioning. Now Droning Whirlwind is an AoE ability that will inflict damage and dispel. The ability will also open up the aura window, and allow him to start spawning those fetters. Now to close this window and despawn all those fetters, you want to be doing lots of critical hits in a short period of time, and this includes weapon skills. Critical hits and weapon skills will both help proc this red and blue on this NM, which will close that aura window. Note that with each use of this ability, the more critical hits you're going to need to close that window. Other conal abilities include Stinger Volley, which can inflict Paralyze and Zombie on whoever it hits, and Maniblar Lashing, which will knock you back and stun you. Now I recommend positioning yourself in the hallway as you see us doing here, so that this move doesn't knock you out of range. Now the last thing you're going to need to watch out for is Vespin Hurricane, which is an AoE ability that can inflict magic defense down and attack down, as well as knock you back. Also note that his auto attacks are often AoE in nature, and it will inflict a 600 per tick AoE poison on anyone it hits. Note, you can use Poison Potions or Elshimo Pachira Fruits to poison yourself and not allow the potent poison of this ability to land on you. Now the only real way to deal good damage to this boss is by the use of piercing and ranged damage. In our battle example, we are going in with a Ninja and Dancer to be the 2 in the melee range. Also, they're going to be the 2 tanks for this fight. I was intending on tanking the majority of the time on Ninja, and I wanted to see if I could accomplish this using the tanking katana setup. However, after just a few seconds, it was very apparent to me that the damage loss was far too much, and especially without the use of Provoke, I was going to be unable to maintain hate. So I quickly switched to Tourette in the main hand and started spamming Evisceration to try and keep hate through the use of damage. The Dancer also helped with damage and tanking for this run, especially during that first 50%, when not as much curing was needed. Likewise, we had a Ranger out of range doing small amounts of damage at the start, and then large amounts of damage during that last 50% to take over the missing damage from the Dancer, as they were using much of their TP to help cure us. Now we used a Corsair and a Bard for buffs, and a White Mage for cures, other than of course the Dancer I just mentioned. Now buffs include Chaos Roll, Samurai's Roll, Honor March, Victory March, Valor Minue 4 and 5, and Xevioso. Now this combo worked well, and I'm hopeful will be a viable strategy as high as Vengeance 15. Let's see how the rest of this run goes. Enjoy the rest of the run, everyone. That's going to be it for our first Vengeance 5 Atonement 3NM. I hope you found that helpful. If you enjoyed this content, click the subscribe button under the video and the bell icon next to it to be notified when my future videos are released. In our next video in the series, we'll be taking on our body. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.